Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you. Welcome, Malcolm. It's so great to finally meet you, sort of face to face, because we have been in each other's sphere of knowing, and we sort of met through Facebook, didn't we?
Yes, we did about 11 years ago.
Yes, indeed. And we discovered we had some things in common. Like we were both artists. You're a musician, and I'm a visual artist. I'm a painter. And we also discovered that we actually switched the place of residence. That
Yeah.
right? That was funny. Do you want to tell that story? How did you end up in the place I was born in?
Well, I met my Serbian girlfriend at the time in Sharm el Sheikh in a swimming pool on near to Narma Bay,
Right.
and to cut a long story short, we fell in love, and I came back to Belgrade with her, and we got married in Skadalia.
Oh, wow, that is
Yes.
lovely. For those viewers who don't know, that is like artist quarter in Belgrade. Let's say that, and it's known for its bohemian style. So people play live music, enjoy lots of good little restaurants with good food, and close friendships between artists of all kinds, writers, all creative folk gathered there, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah, they do. It's very artistic inspired, and there's always a very good buzz around
Yes.
Skadalia. It's very nice.
Very nice energy. And that is important, isn't it, in life?
Completely, because as you know, being a musician, a visual artist, you need some good energy around you, and Skadalia certainly offers that.
That's brilliant. Malcolm, if you would share with us a story about your biggest passion, which I assume is music, whether that was a love from early age, is something you discovered and love inside yourself. How did you develop this passion and cultivate into your calling?
I always liked to sing, and I was a member of a church, Church of England church called St Michael's and All Angels, and I was part of a male choir, and of course I was singing as a kid, of course, soprano. I did many solos. We went to cathedrals to sing. I sang at weddings, and I loved those harmonies. And I liked a lot of the Bach music, a lot of the ancient music.
Yes,
I thought it was wonderful. And coming on from that interest, I got a passion to learn the piano. And so my family paid for lessons, and and also told me that if I didn't practice, they would stop the lessons. So I practiced like a good lad, and I progressed through the grades. Whilst I was singing, and which was really gave me the passion for the singing and songwriting that I'm still a part of now in a big way.
Did you study classical piano?
I did, yes. I learned classical piano. I had a brilliant teacher who had played many concerts around the world, and her son was a cellist and one of my best friends. The daughter was a viola player, and the father was a double bass player.
Wow.
So it was almost like
musical family. Yeah.
Completely. And that's where I got the passion. And I was studying from about 7 on the piano until the age of 16. And then at that age, and then you become a young man and do things that young men do. And I got into more rock and roll and blues and other things.
I was just going to ask about your other influences in music, and where did you discover that then the connection with what resonated the most? Which style of music?
Well, I think I've got one brother, no sisters, but my brother Alan is 4.5 years older than me. So when I was around 13, he was 17, and he was into Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, just a lot of these. And I got a passion. Of course, I picked the bands that I liked, but I still love Led Zeppelin is still one of my favorite bands.
Beautiful.
I think they're absolutely amazing. But really, I like anything from Bach to Chopin to Motorhead.
Yeah, that's quite a range right there.
With many genres in between.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can appreciate all of those as well. So I'm really excited to hear the story from musician's point of view, you know. My children, actually, they're both classically trained pianists, and they have this love of music. But my life did never go in that direction, you see. So it's a strange world yet undiscovered. I enjoy music as a listener, and it was so many times in my life I found this profound connection with music, and that it was music that could only reach me in those moments when the first time when I felt profound grief. So the first experience with grief, I was 28. And my cousin, who was in all respects my big brother. His mom and my mom were sisters. He didn't have siblings. I have a younger brother, and he always behaved, and we had the connection like brother and sister. Like we grew up like that. And when he suddenly passed away and I was facing life without him at that age, that was the biggest grief I experienced, the deepest. And it was only music that could reach me, that I could feel that connection still alive, you know, through music. And it was Moonlight Sonata that I would listen again and again. I felt that really drew me in, and I could feel him still here. Then I was able to reconnect with his spirit, because we had such a strong bond spiritually that I knew there was a way. I know he's trying to reach me, you know, from the energy where he was at. But because I was grief-stricken, I didn't know how to reach him. But music was that window for sure for me.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Moonlighting is so beautiful as well. I played that very well when I was much younger. I don't have a piano now. I have a electric piano, which is fine for gigs. But to me, if you're going to play classical music, you must play on a proper piano
instrument. Yes,
it's imperative.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. Do you still perform? Do you enjoy performing? And
I do. I do, but I haven't, of course, for a year and a half because of the pandemic, which has given everybody, many problems. Of course, let's hope. I'm going to tap on wood now. Let's hope it's on the way out, and we get back to some kind of normality. But in Belgrade, there are venues that are now having musicians play live again. And so I've got 2 or 3 ideas of where I'm going to be. I went to visit my rhythm guitar player who lives in South Banat in a place called Shumarak. Basically, to you guys out there, it's maybe an hour outside Belgrade, and my friend is fortunate enough to live in a very nice part of the countryside. He has a studio at the base of his house, and my bass player lives next door to him.
Oh wow! Very
so
lucky.
I went down there, and we had a very good rehearsal. But we've just been sharpening up some of the songs and adding a few different ones. At the moment, we're doing covers, but I also independently I write as a original artist as well, lyrics and music.
Yes.
So,
well, I have a lot of friends in the world of art, in all
Yes.
forms of art that you can imagine. And people who if we have creativity in common, we bond very easily. And I find that
Yeah.
we are open to talk about many aspects of life, that we can discuss those, ethereal things that people sometimes find like, I don't, it's a bit uncomfortable conversation. I don't want to go there. And
That's okay.
I wonder, do you have friends in those circles that don't describe themselves as creative, and how do you communicate with them? What is the connection that you feel? Because with musicians and with other artists, it is obvious, right? That
Yeah,
bond
they
is
stick together
strong.
a little
It's
bit.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of my best friends is a guy called Georgia, and he comes from Sienički,
right.
where the cheese comes from.
Oh,
That you
okay,
listen
yes,
to. Yeah,
southern Serbia. Yeah, right.
that's my favourite cheese in Serbia, by the
Yeah,
way.
yes.
I really like that. But I met him just by chance when I was getting a bus, flying and then getting a bus to a location in Sharm el Sheikh.
Right.
He was taking a vacation. I had some stuff to do, over there.
Yeah.
And he works in the bank. He's not musical, but we become. I've always been one of these that attract a sort of chalk and cheese type relationship.
Right. Yes.
I can be a bit
Opposite.
occasionally.
Yeah.
and these people are very, very quiet. Yes. Okay. But it seems it can work. It can.
Absolutely.
The contrast can be quite very nice. And I've got a few friends like that, and of course a lot of rock and roll friends as well.
That's lovely. Yes, undoubtedly. It was just the question was based like that because I knew you get easy with people who are, just have art flowing through their veins, but is the other folk that are curious about it, but they get attracted to our world. And when you mention, that you are also creative in some way, and they're like, oh, no, like it's almost something, they don't want to touch inside themselves. They don't know how to handle that side.
You see, I don't believe this. I think everybody has got something creative
Absolutely.
about them.
Me too.
Yes. They're not looking hard enough.
No. They're scared to look. Because
it's true.
You do appear off your rocker sometimes to some people, don't you? As an artist.
Oh, yes.
How many times have you been called crazy or regarded as crazy in your views or yeah.
No, it's the funny thing is sometimes there's a little bit of a perception, not general perception that, oh, you're English, you've got a sense of humour. Yes. It's funny, but I don't find it offensive at all. I mean,
no.
Not in any way at all. And then I'm quite a bit of a joker. I've been told I've got a good sense of humour, so I can make people relax quite easily anyway.
I don't think you could survive in Serbia if you don't have sense of humor. So that goes without saying. People have very, very strong sense of humor, and they have to be very sharp and intelligent to be able to survive. Let's just leave it at that, because life is challenging in Serbia in many ways.
But it's an adventure as well, isn't
absolutely.
It? So
yes.
And I like that adventure part.
Yes.
I don't fear change.
No.
So of course, I went from England to Egypt to Belgrade. So that's three very different vocations, and locations.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm very happy. I'm happy to be here still. Unfortunately, on the negative, my wife died 6 years ago, which was a big shock and very unexpected. But and I think about her enormously. She was a huge influence on many things that I did. Very strong, very beautiful Serbian woman. and her name was Alexandra. But and I'm still in the apartment that we shared. Many people thought that I would move back to England, but no, I wanted to continue my journey here in Serbia, and I don't regret that at all.
No, as long as you always seem to me quite, and I know it was shocking when we learned that your wife passed away. Yes. But as I said, we do that connection when it's strong. It does transpire this one short lifetime, and we still are very much connected with them, because they're still the same energy, same love. They're just not here in physical form. That's the only thing that's missing. And I know it's a hard thing. My dad passed away in December last year. And it was hard because we had that closeness like this, and it was hard not being able to go there and be next to my mom and my brother. But because of the bond that we share, we were able to bridge this distance that was thrown upon us now, that we had to be physically separated. And we found a way of all of our spirits being connected, and my dad is part of my every moment of every life, of every day in my life, right? It's just everything we did was meant to be enjoyed together. We lived in full awareness that the life will end one day, that this is this experience is a privilege to have, and it's a gift that however long it lasts. It's not about that length is not in our hands, but the quality of our relationship is in our hands, and we focused on that.
Carry on.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, my mother Doris, who she will be 90 on 31st of July. So I will be going over to England on 25th. Yeah, I'll be going over for a month. She's going to have a party. She's still driving around London.
Enjoying life to the fullest.
Oh yeah,
lovely.
And my friends in Serbia call her Mama Doris.
Oh, beautiful.
And
beautiful.
she's been to Serbia 10 times, and she loves Serbia too.
Yes, that is great. I wish your mom all the best, as well as everyone in your family. I can imagine what a party that will be. That is beautiful.
And the same for your family too, obviously.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to touch upon positivity. As I told you, the big message for this platform, for this podcast, is that angle that all of my guests had in common, and that is positivity. Assuming this positive aspect in life, this angle from which we view the world. Does that seem that things always go our way? No, we go through challenges just the same as everybody else. We live through inevitable, as we just mentioned. But just the life is more of a pleasant experience. And I cannot underline that enough. And I want to hear your take on that. How does positivity and living joyful life how does it have advantage over the alternative?
It's very easy to get into a rut. We were talking about close people that have gone from our lives physically, but it's just a matter of I think the music keeps me positive. I think if I didn't have the music at certain times, I'd be in a different place now. I think. In fact, I'm certain about that. So, music is something I can't do without, and that's a positive.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive. As we were saying, like it keeps you going.
Music, positive people around me. The music is enormously important. And of course, close family is as well. Family, music, and health, really.
Yes.
they're the three things, and I try to look after all three of those things and enjoy the three in tandem. And that's working well.
Absolutely.
That's working well. I try and keep myself busy. I've always got ideas, and they just come into my head. I think, it's like a zing.
Yes.
And I get to the piano, and I've been learning guitar for 6 months as well. So it's a new instrument to me.
Yeah.
I'm classically trained on piano,
Right.
but the guitar, I'm finding it fun. So yeah, I love to compose and bring in new music completely.
Love.
And to me also in composing, just to mention that, I don't think there should be any rules in the sort of songs.
Yeah.
I think some musicians make the mistake of thinking, okay, we must do this genre.
Yes.
I can understand it for certain projects, but for me, there isn't a right and a wrong in music. If it's good, it's good.
Yes. Yes. And it goes broader than music. I think that message applies to all types of art and also to life itself.
Of course.
Right?
Definitely.
Excellent.
It's funny because I compose, a lot of the songs that I compose are completely different to the songs that I listen to.
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason. And I haven't analysed that so much, but it's okay. I'm happy to carry on being creative.
Yes, that is excellent. And sometimes, we do need to learn the rules so that we can break them, right? That we can build upon. Yes, we can build something different, something bigger. We can bring two things together. How about people who make fusion in music or in any form of art? It's just like... It's a vision, isn't it? It's just being somewhere ahead where no foot has been before you. It's just that there is something so intriguing and inviting about that, and I think we are brave enough to explore that area, and it's nice.
Definitely.
And it's a good influence to others, isn't it, as well, to live life full from that place of fulfillment and connection with our true purpose.
Yes.
That is lovely. I cannot thank you enough for sharing this lovely conversation.
It's my pleasure, really.
So this is Your Moment podcast will not forget you, and I hope you'll come back and perhaps play something for us when you when you start performing next, and when we find a moment in that schedule. You up for that? Lovely.
I'll be pleased to do that, of course. And the best wishes to everybody around the globe who's listening to this podcast. I wish you love and happiness.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And the very same to you as well. Thank you.